Hi guys, so it's Kirsty and Susie back with you with some tips of how to align your yoga poses at home. So today we are going to look at standing bow pulling pose, which is a balance that we do in our classic class, and actually it's quite a difficult balance because you are literally doing a standing balancing back bend. Back bending is hard, balancing is hard. So what happens when you go into the posture is your body looks for ways to make it easier. That's fine. The only downside is A, you're not getting the benefits of the pose. B, some of those little cheats that your body wants to do can knock your joints out of alignment, and it means that you're not always practicing as safely as you can. So Susie's going to be, well, she's going to demo as best she can, but to hold a balance for a long time while I talk you through it will be a bit challenging. So if she needs to come out, just bear with us. So as always, I'm going to instruct the pose, and then I'm going to just use Susie's body to show you kind of some of the things that we often see in class, and then I'm going to correct Susie so that you can see what it looks like when the pose is done with the correct alignment. So let's get going. Which arm are you going to do?
I'll do this side, so
that's your right.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bring your right arm back behind you, reach back and grab a hold of your foot. Bring your opposite arm up and in the air. Okay, so this is straight off where sometimes things can go wrong. So it's always a bit trickier showing you this because Susie's quite flexible. But one of the big things that can happen here is, tight quad muscles, the front of the thighs, maybe a not very open shoulder can sometimes mean that it's really hard for somebody to grab their foot. So what they do is they kind of bend down to get it. So
on the outside as well.
Yeah. So you can see Susie's kind of compromising here. She's held on from the outside. That's not a big problem, but ideally we want the inside grip so the shoulder is open. But what we need to do is make sure that the side of Susie's body stays long rather than kind of dipping into it. So if you find, so I'm going to ask Susie to come back out. So kick your heel towards your bum, Suze. Reach your hand back. You should be able to grab the foot without leaning down to grab it. If you are leaning down to grab it, it means you're going to pinch the side of your waist. That needs to be long. So the best thing is to just not hold your foot at all. So Susie will just show you what I mean. You can just reach back in the general direction of your foot. You do not have to hold your foot for the posture. Come out, Susie, you can have a bit of a break. You will work harder if you're not holding the foot, but that's not a bad thing. So if ever you find you're reaching down for it, maybe just reach back, kick your heel in towards your bum, and then work from that rather than grabbing a hold of the foot. So that's the first thing. Okay, let's go back in, Susie.
Okay.
Be very unbalanced by the end of this.
I know.
Reach your arm up in the air. Take an inhale breath, reach for the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your body down and keep your back leg back. So just come down. So this is what sometimes happens. This is not a back bend. So Susie's followed the cue, which is to bring her body forwards, which is definitely part of the pose, but she's not back bending at all. So if you want to come out, Suze, and that could be due to a number of things. So in order to fire up that back bend, Susie needs to squeeze her bum really hard. And most of us have got very lazy bottoms because we don't use that muscle anymore. So that could be one thing. The other thing could be that she's just particularly tight through this front area of her body. Again, also really common because most of us make this sitting shape every day. So what Susie was doing is she was just falling forwards as opposed to kicking her heel away from her bottom. So this is standing bow pulling pose, bow and arrow, yeah? Kick your heel away from your bottom. So let's have another go, Suze. Arm up in the air. So rather than falling forwards, I want Susie to think about kicking her heel into her hand. So now she has the back bend. Come out, Susie. Just don't want you to stay there for hours.
Like all the great left glue.
Yeah, into this. So basically, it's about heel away from bum, not coming forwards. So if Susie goes back into it, so first thing, arm up in the air, heel away from bum, is you get that distance. So see, she's now opening up through the front of her body. She's stretching into her shoulders. This is a really nice shape. Now I'm going to ask Susie to start to take this posture up a notch. Inhale, breath, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, begin to kick back. So again, this is where things can start to go wrong. I'm going to ask Susie to kick her foot way up and over her head. She's going to lose it. So, what happens is, in pursuit of a greater depth of the posture, we lose hip alignment. So, so if you go front on,
back in and slightly less.
go front on a little bit for me, and grab a hold of your foot. So right now, Susie's hips are aligned. Both hip bones are facing forwards. That does not change when she's in the posture. But what sometimes happens is, as people go deeper, the hip alignment moves. It comes out of the centre line of the body.
Or sometimes you open out like more like
Yeah.
that way, don't you?
Yeah. And that's because, again, your body is looking for an easier route to get to the end goal that we've told you. So we tell you, end goal, toes up and over your head. Yes, one day, maybe not today. Most important thing is Susie keeps her hips facing forwards and her knee just goes back. And that might be her maximum. Because to go deeper, she's going to start to cheat. She's going to bring the right knee out to the side, which brings her hips out of alignment, her legs go wide, and then she starts to lift up her right hip bone. That is not the pose. That is no longer a back bend. In fact, that's not doing very much at all, and Susie probably could stay there if she had her balance for quite a long time, because it's not really working many muscles other than perhaps her standing leg. So I always say in standing bow pulling pose, here's the bad news. If it's not really hard, you're not doing it properly, because it actually is quite difficult, isn't it, Suze, to kick back and really stretch. So those are the things to watch. Heel and knee go directly back behind you. So if you're just sliding your legs apart, again, that bow and arrow, draw one leg back. And it is the power of the kick. The heel goes away from your bottom. You shouldn't be able to see your knee or your toes towards the right hand side of your body. So it's always a good idea, if you have a mirror at home, guys, use it to practice. See your body. All you should see in the front mirror are two hip bones, a straight standing leg, and the bent leg just slowly disappearing back behind you and out of sight. The only other big thing to watch as well is bent standing legs. So again, as people go for the pursuit of more depth in the pose, the foot higher, often that comes at the compromise of the standing leg. Now, there's nothing really wrong with this. This is kind of okay. She's not going to hurt herself, but her thigh is going to get really tired really quickly because she's got it in this kind of bent state, which means that it's not really supporting her. So that's quite difficult. And actually, when you're balancing, stacking joints, hip on top of knee and knee on top of ankle is really important, so that your body weight is borne directly through your joints and they can share the weight of your body, rather than what Susie was doing just then, was it was pretty much all going to land in her ankle. Yeah. So those guys are your standing bow pulling tips. Can you think of anything else?
The only other thing is when people actively hinge. So they, instead of allowing the kick to hinge them,
they bring themselves down.
So you're in this position, and instead of using that kick to allow the body to slowly hinge your upper body down, people sort of might do a kick, but then just go
collapse. Yeah.
And they think that the hinging is more important than the kick, but it's the kick that allows the upper body to hinge down. That's the only reason your upper body should be moving, is because you're kicking so hard that you have no choice but to move deeper into the pose.
So if you look, when Susie does it properly, she's got this really nice open chest, whereas when she starts to just fall forwards, that collapses.
And you lose any ability to kick back, really. So it's all about the kick. That's the most important thing, this kick back. And then as you keep kicking, your body naturally just wants to sink a little bit deeper in.
And then, lovely bow, Sue.
Oh, thank you. And then I fall out.
Executed with such finesse and grace. So there's a lot going on in that posture, which is why the general rule of thumb is stay tall, work the back bend. rather than thinking, oh my God, the goal is I've got to come down, I need to reach my fingertips forwards, because often by coming down, you've lost the benefits. So really think about squeezing your bum, kicking your foot back into your hand, squaring your hips forwards, lifting your chest, so big front body open, a big back bend. Then the power of the kick will bring your body down. That almost, well, it happens without you thinking about it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah.
It's the kick that lowers the body.
Yeah. Whereas mentally, often, sadly, we focus on the end thing, which is charging forwards and toes up and over our head. And that then means that the bits of the pose that really matter kind of get a bit overlooked. So as always, guys, hopefully this was helpful. We are here to help you remotely, on the phone, emails, social, chat to us. Let us know how you're getting on. And if there's other things that you would like us to film for you, please do. And you can always, guys, send us little vids, do photos, upload them for us. And we are happy to help you out as much as we can, with our alignment, even if it is remotely. We would love to be able to engage with you in the same way as we can here at the studio. So don't be shy, keep in touch. Take care, bye, guys. I'll see you soon.